Hello, my name is Noé Garcia Camarillo, and this is my final project in my Master in English Language Teaching at University DaVinci. The project name is Can idioms, fillers, sequence, and linking words help my students of English as a foreign language improve their speaking fluency? My tutor was Miss Karen. Our foreign language students, particularly those studying English that want to be engineers, need to be bilingual because the companies do not want to hire monolingual people. What other researchers believe is that the student can gain fluency in the language through some rote learning, that is, learning vocabulary and be exposed to vocabulary and practice as well as in through interactive activities such as task repetition. The researchers Neil DeJohn and Charles Perteffi in their study state that fluency deals much more with the speaker's linguistic knowledge as well as with the use of the knowledge, the speed of access and control over the available linguistic forms and syntactic devices. Therefore, they come up with implementation of the task repetition to find out how much their students will improve. In their findings, they claim that through task repetition, students increase their fluency since they produce much more language at regular rates of delivery. That means that their students were able to say more words in their long pauses were shorter. That is, the silence pauses were lessened. On the other hand, Dr. Dijab and Dr. Abelha and Dr. Ali, in their study, which lasted 2 weeks, and where students were and their students were exposed to a program, they claim that the use of multimedia-based programs is effective in developing EFL speaking fluency skills because it raises willingness to participate in our activities. They also say that their students at the very beginning were reluctant to practice oral speech, but when they introduced or implemented the program, their students feel much more into practicing oral. So the methodology that I use and that I choose to work with to conduct this research was through the action research process because it is friendly and flexible, and you don't need a great amount of participants to find out what is going on in your classroom, and that you can find solution or implement some strategies or techniques to generate some changes that might help you in your teaching practice. If, as a strategy, first I asked all the participants their consent through letters, and they were noted that there will be a recorder in tape recorder for the purposes of this research. The procedure of the research was as follows. Okay, it was divided in tape recorder for the purposes of this research. The procedure of the research was as follows. Okay, it was divided into stages, which lasted approximately 1 week. Both of them. In stage one, a student gave their presentation as they regularly do. It means that they did not have to follow a very specific procedure to present. They only had to prepare the presentation with the information given. Students passed one by one, and they were tape recorder. There were lists. In the end of the first stage or the first week, they were given lists of vocabulary that they had to learn during the next weekend. because in the next week they had to present that second oral presentation. That is in stage two. That it was during the week two of the project. In this week, students learned some new vocabulary during the weekend, as I said before, and they were supposed to use it during the presentation in the second week. And they also were tape recorded uh, to analyze the information in 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 the following days. During the two stages, students' pauses and hesitations, as well as vocabulary just were recorded in some format for the later analysis. That means that I was just recording and writing on the paper all the participation they were having, and the pauses they made, and the hesitation and words that they used a lot during their presentations. And after that, I gather all the information and analyze it to record the results, and then inform my the information that I gather helped me generate evidence. All the information that I gathered, then I analyze it and come to some conclusions, some claims in the last part of my research. Well, my project was done. The one of the main reasons because of my project was done was to find out how I could improve my UFO student spoken fluency. The main purpose is to improve their fluency so that companies in our region could hire them in the future. And what I came up with the research is that I confirmed my beliefs and my expectations were met, since vocabulary and rote learning was confirmed that they are still of paramount importance in language learning, since the students were able to produce more language and most of their pauses were lessened. This means that after they learned the new vocabulary, that they went through the process of the implementation of the new strategy, and the students gained that fluency because the language automatically helped them to produce long chunks of the language. Students were able to produce more language, and most of their passes were lessened, as I have already said. That meant that they convey more meaning. That also means that they have more linguistic devices to assist them. When they have the appropriate vocabulary, students can speak more confident. They have something to rely on. That is basically the significance and conclusion of self-confident to use the language because of the treatment. And the description and findings that we can have in this presentation, it is that students improve their spoken fluency through vocabulary, the rote learning, and the automaticity of the language. And it was due to the implementation of vocabulary that effectively led them to the spoken fluency. I want to thank you for your attention.